Check, check, check. All right, you go.
Check. 1 2 1 2.
Yeah, this look cold.
I had to figure out what.
Yeah. My name.
Shoot, we gonna get right into it.
Alright.
Yo. It's your boy XAV in the building, and you're listening to Underground Detroit Radio, show number 35. I'm here with first time, man. This is the first time for this
First time.
interview with the Detroit artist.
Yeah.
Y'all give it up for HAV, man. Make some noise.
Everybody screaming, what up, though, boy?
Yeah, man. What's up, man?
Man,
What's
life.
going on?
Life. You know
What's
how
going?
it
You
is.
feeling good, man?
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Hell yeah. So I've been talking to you for a minute. We getting ready for the show coming up on Saturday, November 16th, 2019.
Rap dealer.
Underground Detroit presents Rap Dealer.
Yes, sir.
HAV, man. Rap Dealer coming out on the 16th. Tell me a little bit about it.
Man, so Rap Dealer, I actually moved the date up, so it's actually coming out on the 15th. It'll be out tomorrow.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
we moved the date up.
We
But
getting it.
Rap Dealer is just something I came up with because I just feel like everybody's on that hustle.
Okay.
Especially when you're making music. It's a hustle. It's a push. It's a grind. You got to go through different levels and different obstacles. So that's how I kind of wrote the songs.
Yeah.
The different levels that you approach in making it. But it's also other meanings that I'm going to let the listeners kind of decipher from it. But that's the ultimate meaning. And then it's for rappers. Because like us, like you rap. Everybody in this room rap.
Oh, yeah.
You pushing it. Like you pushing it like a drug dealer will push some weight.
Yeah.
I got a song on there called Pushing Weight, by the way. Yeah, but you gotta keep grinding and keep hustling, and that's what the concept is about, Rap Dealer. Yeah.
Real shit. And that embodies like the underground Detroit spirit, man. Just the artists who out here pushing that shit. So this is for sure a rapper's album. You
It's
feel
a
me?
rapper's album. Like I
Yeah.
said that on Twitter the other day. So this is for everybody who's hustling and you got a passion and you're trying to turn your passion into profit.
Right.
If you doing that, you can understand it.
Mm.
But it's for artists. It's for true artists that's trying to hone the craft, but at the same time break through that barrier that we all are trying to get through. Because just know everybody get to that final door,
Real
and
shit.
then once you get through that final door, that's when you get to that level. So this is about that push through.
All right, for sure, man.
Yeah.
So we gonna get into a track. What track we about to get into?
We could do Roses. I just dropped this a couple weeks ago. I wrote this song when Derrick Rose dropped 50. I was inspired that same night to write it and record it the next day. So it was the year anniversary a couple weeks ago. So I went out and played that, made that rather.
All right, so let's get into it. Here's HAV, Roses.
It ain't over till it's over, no. It ain't over till it's over, no. Yeah. They try to push my buttons, they don't know the code. They sleeping on me, didn't know I'm Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose. Yeah. They try to push my buttons, they don't know the code. They sleeping on me.
Yo, it's your boy Zay back in the building. You're listening to Underground Detroit Radio, show number 35, featuring HAV, man. Shout out. The very first interview, man. This is historic shit right here.
Very.
Niggas is gonna look back and be like, damn, Underground Detroit, flip the pages, man.
Very.
Number one interview, you're gonna have HAV right here, man. So
Very.
this is gonna be historic. So
Very soon, too.
Everything that happened after this, man, you set in stone. So
History, I appreciate
for sure, man.
I appreciate that privilege to be the first.
Yo, when I think underground artists, when I think like when I first started in 2015, when I think about the artists and the OGs, HAV gotta be in the 20 artists that pop into my head. You always gonna be in that mug, like for real. Like if there's any artist that I think of, I know HAV is one of them. And so like embodying that underground spirit, man, just seeing everything that you've done. I think I was seeing some posts where you was like on the news or some shit like back in the day and shit.
Yeah,
I'm like, yo, this dude been out here. I'm like, yo.
Yeah, that was a competition that I had won. And it was the judges. I think the judges was like an actual court judge. DJ BJ was one of the judges.
Oh, wow.
And it was somebody else. Yeah, it's so funny because he had a hand in my life before the radio.
Wow.
Didn't even remember it. So then when we got to the radio a couple years later, I reminded him. So that was dope.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a competition they just did at a community center, and they just wanted you to write a positive rap about Detroit. And whoever won got that news spot. So I think that was like my first like piece of validation. The only thing was I thought that meant is at that time I was 17.
Right.
I turned 17 the day I went on the news. So at that time, I thought that meant okay, news, and then I'm about to get signed.
right.
That's how I think it worked. So once that didn't happen, it was like a reality check that I needed, but I didn't know I needed it at the time. So it just kind of like set me back, but also set me forward at the same time.
Real shit, man. That's a real lesson for the underground artists, for the cats making the music in the basement, for the ones that don't know how to get it out yet. Like knowing, like once you get a little something, it ain't everything, man.
Yeah, I've been preaching it, man.
That's life.
It's the biggest things you can do with this artistry is 2 things. It's 3 things, 4 things. All right, 4 things. So you gotta pray, of course.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta be patient. You have to manifest, and then after all that, you're gonna gain what's called momentum.
Okay.
And once you gain that momentum, you can't let it go. So my problem every single time was gaining momentum. So you talk about the news, you talk about a couple of years later going on the radio station, you talk about getting plugs throughout the industry, things like that.
Yeah.
And that's only because they see me doing something, right? But then I attained that thing and stopped doing whatever it was I was doing that got me them odds. You know what I'm saying? That's the momentum part of it. So if you lose that momentum part of it, then you back at square one. My problem was I was resetting myself to square one and thinking that's how it worked, and getting more depressed and getting more to myself and not wanting to make music, not realizing I had to keep up the momentum and stay consistent.
That's real.
Yeah.
That's real. Dropping knowledge for the underground.
Yeah,
man,
that's the realest thing I could ever. If somebody
sure.
would have told me that in 2015, who could tell me where I would be in 2020 now that we're doing it?
Yeah,
But
man.
everything happened how it's supposed to. So now that I learned that lesson, I can pass it on. So maybe somebody will have to learn it how I learned it.
Real shit. And speaking of the humble beginnings, you feel me? How did you get your start?
For me, I always had an affinity for reading and writing, like since I was a little kid. So I always been smart. I always love to read. I always love traveling to other worlds. So I used to read a lot of fiction. So that was my thing. And naturally, if you read a lot, you learn a lot, and you become creative like that. So I'll never forget. Reason I started writing this because I like this girl, 6th grade, and I was watching Spider-Man 2. And in one of the scenes, Dr. Octavius tell Peter Parker, if you want to win a girl, write her poetry. I was 11 years old. Excuse me. So I wrote my first poem, and I handed it to a substitute teacher, and she was actually mad at me at the time. She had me in the back of the class and everything. I'll never forget this. And I wrote my first poem, and I gave it to her, and I was like, how does it sound? And I remember that teacher just looking at me and like, you so talented, why is you acting out like this? Like, this is amazing. That was my first poem. Right. So that made me feel good. I just kept doing it. So from 11 till about 14, it was just poetry, and it was really just love poems. It wasn't no nothing past that.
That's real shit.
Then I'll never forget, I went to Cass, man. My first year of high school, I went to Cass Tech. Yeah, bro. Went to Cass Tech my first year of high school, and I love Cass for the very reason, because it's the reason why I do what I do. And we sat at this table. I never forget it. It was my homeboy D-Wayne, my homeboy Mello. It was a couple other people there that I can't really remember their names, but I know their faces. And we was all just in basically a cipher, like a battle cipher or whatever. Me thinking that I do poetry, I'm thinking I can rap. That was not the case. Yeah. So I'm sitting here with people who've been tested. Like he was in juniors and seniors. I was a freshman. Right. And I got roasted, man. I got booed off the table. It was terrible. It was the worst thing I ever experienced. And from that moment, I literally told myself, I'm never going through that again. And I'm going to be the best they ever heard. And from that moment, I just been dedicated. I don't know what triggered it or why I didn't. I think it was my purpose revealing itself. But I didn't know that at the time. Right. But the moment that I said I'm gonna be the greatest ever, that's what happened.
So you already had the bars from a poetry
a poetry standpoint, yes, but not from it's a different type of way you have to approach it when it's rap. Right. Yeah. And I didn't have that aspect. I didn't have the understanding of delivery or flow. I didn't have the understanding of cadence. I didn't have the understanding of how the punchline's supposed to go, especially with battle rapping, because that's still a very, very, you have to be in tune to do that. So you can't just jump from poetry to, and I never did slams with my poetry. So if you do battle slams, that's the same thing, but I never did that. I literally just wrote poems to express myself. So once I seen that aspect of it, I just went, learned how to rap, and then from there just took steps to continuously grow my craft.
That's real shit.
Yeah.
So that's where HAV comes from.
HAV.
Not the name.
Oh,
you
okay,
feel
but
me?
yeah. That's how I started
yeah.
though. 9th grade, bro. That's how I started. I was 14.
Well, we gonna get into where the name come from when we come back. But what's the song we got coming up next?
I got this song I released last year on my project, The Sometimes Theory. If you haven't heard it, go listen to it. This is one of the best songs I've ever written. It's probably one of the best songs on the project. It's called Dark Minds Know. Basically, it's about if you got some dark shit that you're going through, then I understand it, we understand it, and we in it together. But it's a hype way to go about it. So you can play that.
All right, here we go.
Dark Minds Know. The real is back. Yeah. Running down the 6 with my woes. Whoa. Taking phones out cause I snap post. I was only focused.
Yo, it's your boy Xav back in the building. You're listening to Underground Detroit Radio, show number 35, featuring HAV. We just came back from Dark Minds off of Sometimes Theory. Yo, HAV, tell me a little bit about that song real quick.
Yeah, man, that song, like I said, it's probably like one of the best songs I've ever written. And it was just about you in a dark place trying to escape it. The hook is more so fun. The hook is more so like it's like a party because the hook is trying to get you away from the dark place. But if you listen to the verses, I got different lines that's gonna catch you. Like when I talk about being caught up in the matrix, or I talk about being caught up in the mazes. That's how I feel when you in the darkness or you in the depression. But the song is really about escaping that and trying to get to the other side of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Real shit. Bro, when I listen to your music, I'm like, I can tell that you put time into this shit, that you put that energy into it.
Appreciate it.
And as a listener, I respect you for everything. Bro, I'm riding the car on the way here, and I'm like, I can't wait to hear this nigga live. I'm driving. I'm like, yo, this is definitely hard, bro.
Appreciate
so
it.
much love to you for that and just putting in that energy, bro. So tell me a little bit about your name, though. Where does HAV come from?
So HAV is a funny story behind that. So for anybody that don't know, my real name is Javier. But if you meet me, everybody call me Javier. So in high school, everybody used to call me Javi. Mostly girls would call me Javi. And then like all my niggas would call me HAV. Because everybody just took it from as a derivative of Javier. Right. That was never my name in the first place.
True.
So my homeboy Melvin one day, he was like, bro, your rap name should be HAV. And I looked at him, I was like, bro, that's the dumbest thing I ever heard in my life. I was like, my real name not even Javier, so why would I call myself HAV?
True.
Literally the same day, I was walking home from school, and every time I was walking home from school, I would always think about different things that happened throughout the day. Think about bars, think about how I could get to the next level. That's all I used to think about 16, 17 years old.
True.
And I was like, what if I never make it? What if I never have a voice? And I swear to God, it was like, you ever seen the things with a light bulb just go off?
Yeah.
And it, bro, I swear to God, I was dancing on the sidewalk like, I have a voice like it's HAV. I'm like, bro, put it together like that.
Have a voice.
Have a voice, yeah. So once that came about, I was like, that's everything I stand for. As an artist, as a person, as a human being, that's my energy. And then have a voice is so much deeper than just talking. It's not about talking and speaking up for yourself, even though it is. But have a voice is about being the person that you're supposed to be, walking in your purpose, recognizing that God is the reason that you're here and the reason that you're creative and can do what you can do, and honoring Him. Only way you can have a voice is if you honor Him. Only way you can have a voice is if you serving people. Because if you serve people, then you're doing something greater than yourself, and you're doing what's on your path for you and to help everybody else. So it goes so much more deeper. It's also about getting out of them negative places. Because I just remember when I was a kid, all I would listen to was like Kid Cudi and stuff, because that's the only person who could really help me when I was in them dark spots. And I feel like it's about that too, like finding a way to get out of them dark spots, and it's just like a hub. So the music serve is like the vehicle, but like have a voice is the engine. That's the real thing that it's about. So you to find yourself and be yourself to your ultimate power.
Man. Dropping that inspiration. Yo, I love the message too. Like just listening to your music, it's like, yo, you out here rocking with a message for sure. So everything that you push is gonna come from a certain place and touch a certain part, you know.
Absolutely.
You feel me? So that's one of the things that I vibe with about your music for sure. That's one of the things that I'm gonna always play artists like that on Underground Detroit. You feel me?
Thank you.
So that's for sure love, man.
Thank you. We appreciate you.
Man.
For sure.
It's a vessel, bro.
Yeah.
It's a vessel.
Yeah.
Have a voice. Okay, so it's your boy Xav here, man. We about to get into the next track. Tell me what we about to hear, bro.
So this next one is called Hazel. It's off that same project, The Sometimes Theory.
Hazel.
This is probably the favorite on that project. Everybody love this song. Hazel is just a nice boom bap type flow.
Yeah.
The reason it's called Hazel, first off, my fiance, her eyes are hazel. So it really was like a reference to that.
True.
But also when I think about music, I think about it in colors a lot of the time. And it just so happened that the producer who sent me the beat, the title of the beat was Hazel.
Yeah.
And when I wrote this song, it felt like Hazel to me. So I was just like, I'm just gonna leave it like that.
Right.
I ain't even gonna touch it.
Man, you be having so many signs, bro. You be having so many signs. Yo, so here we go. This is HAV, Hazel. Let's get it.
I've been trying to pay my dues, but they taxing interest. Heading for the touchdown, 4th and inches.
Yo, it's your boy Xav back again. Like I said, Underground Detroit, show number 35, featuring HAV. It's our first ever guest, man. So we just came out of Hazel off of the Sometimes Theory by HAV. Yo, man, tell me a little bit about that song, because I told you that's the song I clean up to. You feel me? When we vibing through the crib, that's Hazel's getting played
that.
for sure.
I appreciate that. I always want to be one of them artists that you can play in every single situation.
Oh yeah.
So I want you to be able to play it when you sad, play it when you happy, put it on when you cleaning up, play it in the club.
That's a good in the gym vibe too. You feel me? Like doing some curls,
Yeah,
trying to get them in.
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I appreciate that. Hazel, it just came from. It's first off, it's a nod to my fiance because she got hazel eyes.
Right.
So I love her, and a little bit of everything I do is about her. Even on the Sometimes Theory, you will hear a voice from track to track, and it's her. Yeah. So
okay.
So that was a nod to her.
Oh, that little high pitch.
Yeah, at the end, it's her. It's her. Like she narrated the whole thing, like from track to track. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my girl. Shout out to you, baby lady.
Real, gotta shout out to baby.
And then past that, Hazel. So a lot of times when I write music or hear music, I see it in colorways. I don't know how or why.
Okay.
But the name of that track just so happened to be Hazel when the producer sent it to me.
Right.
So maybe that would put it in my mind. But when I end up actually writing the track, it felt like a Hazel type of vibe for me.
Yeah.
So I just left it alone. I just felt like it was right. Yeah.
Oh, that's for real. So you said you see colors.
Yeah, a lot of times, man, a lot of different songs. It don't happen every time.
Oh, it's
Like,
like
you know,
what's that called? Synesthesia?
I don't know what the name of it is. I think it's just weird. But
Synesthesia? Look, I only know
that's
it off
what it
Empire.
is. That's what it is. That's funny to mud, man. Yeah, man. Like a lot of times, a lot of my music, you will see pink a lot with my music. You will see hues of pink. Like even the Rap Dealer cover is pink in the background. First, it's a nod to Kanye, so graduation. But second off, shout out. But second off, like a lot of times my songs remind me of different colors, and it's always like a pinkish, purplish.
Right.
I don't know what that represents. I gotta get deep into my color and symbolism and everything like that. But that's just how I kind of see it. A lot of times you will see black. So if I see black, then that usually where you get your songs like Before the Dealer or Practice Session or Voice Notes, which is just me venting and kind of blacking out. You'll get your white songs. White songs sound something like, you'll hear something like Drugs Now, which is like a white, like a yellow. You'll hear songs like, I got a song called CBA, stand for Can't Be Around, Blow My High.
Okay.
That one is another one. So that my more melodic type songs, but like each individual one, I can see a type of color that kind of go with it. Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah, man. That's some real deep stuff. I got a hard time choosing colors. So that's real. That's real. Yeah. So I want to know about some of your inspirations. You feel me? Getting into music and just some of the people that you listen to that kind of brought you into.
Got me doing it.
Into the music.
Yeah. So very first person that inspired me, I was trying to rap like Wiz Khalifa.
Okay.
So when I first started rapping, like the way I learned how to even write lines was Wiz Khalifa, because I think at that time we was playing Taylor Alderdice. I think that's what was out, or maybe Cabin Fever, one of the two. But this was back in high school, freshman year.
Right.
So literally, I don't smoke. Never had smoked in my life. But
Right,
every
like,
bar was like, I got a bag on me. Like,
Right.
like I was rapping like that. Like I was really like rapping like a Detroit style rapper. Like just rap about stuff I've never done. Like rap about guns I don't have. Like that's how I really learned how to do it.
Yeah.
Song that changed my life. I'll never forget. I was playing on YouTube, and I don't know how, but Common and Kanye Southside came up. They did a Dave Chappelle's performance.
Yeah. Oh man, classic.
Bro, classic, right?
For real.
At this time, like you gotta realize I'm not really into deep music like that. So I know what we like. I know the basics of what we listen to, but I wasn't really into it. So I know like Eminem, I know Lil Wayne, I know the OGs, Pac, Snoop Dogg, but I wasn't really into it. My mom played like neo soul in the house, so I'm listening to Jill Scott, India Reed, Chrisette Michelle. That's what I was playing in the crib. So I'm not really into rap like that. When I heard that song, I instantly realized, because that's how I wrote poetry, was how Common wrote that verse.
Right.
And I was like, yo, this is how I'm supposed to be rapping. Like, and it just clicked for me just like that. Like, I need to learn how to do this. So that instantly made me, okay, so how do I learn how to do this? I'm just gonna copy him. So Common was my first favorite rapper.
Common.
Dived into his whole discography, right?
Right.
Of course, if you dive into Common, you gonna find Kanye. And then they was the song. They song was together anyway. Southside.
I'm sure you found Dilla too.
Oh, of course you found Dilla. Like and then I'm from Detroit, so then it just made it a whole different thing.
Oh yeah.
Once I start diving deep, I went and played Kanye whole discography. Right.
Okay.
Found this song called "I Wonder" on Graduation. Same song I used to sing all the time in 6th grade. Riding to the school with my uncle, I didn't even put 2 and 2 together. I used to always ask him, "Can you put the Wonder song on? Can you put the Wonder song on?" And it turned out that was Kanye. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, know the whole song. I'm like, how do I know this song? So then you find that, then you find Jay, you know, you still start going back and forth.
Right.
I think so. Common and Kanye is probably my 2 biggest inspirations. Then if you go a little further, as I start developing more, about around time I turned 15, 16, I found one artist by the name of Kendrick Lamar.
Kendrick,
Yeah. When I found Kendrick, I think that was a turning point for me. Because at that point, I was starting to find newer artists. Like one of my favorite artists out of Wichita, Kansas, his name is XV.
Okay.
Partially, he's another reason why my name is HAV. My name got a couple different meanings.
Okay.
But XV stand for 15 because he started rapping when he was 15.
Okay.
And I got his whole discography, know it by heart. He spoke to me on a different type of way.
Right.
And he introduced me to Kendrick. In between there, I found out about Cole too, because J. Cole was on the radio a lot with that song he had with Miguel, and I knew that her whole verse. And he had that verse on A Star Is Born on the Blueprint 3, and I knew that whole verse. So then I started looking into J. Cole before I got to Kendrick, and Cole just blew my mind. I'll never forget, I was walking up the stairs at Cass Tech, and he had this line at the end of Looking for Trouble. And he said, "Ain't this what you've been praying for? What you've been screaming about? Ironic you've been sleeping on the one that you've been dreaming about."
Right.
When he said that, bro, I dropped my books, man. That was like the moment for me.
Right.
So J. Cole and then Kendrick, man. When I got Kendrick, I really emulated him to a full T. Like even around here, people used to call me Baby Kendrick Lamar. I did a video with my big bro Geach. He did a cipher.
Yeah.
In them comments, everybody said he's straight, but he want to be Kendrick Lamar too bad. That was when I was around like 16, 17. And
What year was that?
We talking about 2013, 14. Yeah. So at that point, I just wanted to be Kendrick. Like everything he stood for was me. You talk about a dude who come from a hard city, hard background, trying to avoid the streets, was in the streets, trying to get out the streets, trying to provide for his family, just want to rap, spiritual, got a higher thinking, trying to stay away from the negative. Like everything about him was like me, and I never experienced that before. Like everybody else had something different, but like this was the dude I could match my whole story with him, and it'd be the same, except for a couple things. So with that, he really just taught me so much about aggression and lyricality and melody, and how you can be lyrical and melodic at the same time. How your voice is the instrument, not the beat. So then I start rapping all crazy off of beats and everything like that. Of course, that introduced me to the whole TDE crew. So I say I'm a product of Black Hippie. If you put Black Hippie together, it'd be me. And Black Hippie, if you don't know, that's J-Rock, Ab Soul, Schoolboy Q, Kendrick Lamar. I took a little bit of everything from them and I studied them to the
Right.
T. Like
Absorb
basically like Sale.
Like Sale.
Like Sale,
Right.
like basically, and just took everything I could, man, on some Majin Buu.
Right.
And yeah, man, that's really what became me. But of course, the legends. Like, I feel like Pac is the greatest rapper ever.
Right.
I feel like HAV is the most successful rapper ever.
Oh yeah.
I feel like Andre 3000 is bar for
3 stacks.
bar. You know what I'm saying?
Boy.
Like, so like anybody you
Yeah.
name really has inspired me. But I would say those are like one of the few ones that really touched me on a different level.
Right. Hey man, that's real shit.
Yeah.
So look, before we get into this next track, I need 3 artists. I'm putting you on the spot. I need
Okay.
3 artists from Detroit coming up that you rocking with every day.
Okay. So if we just doing 3,
3.
If we just doing
give me
3. I can tell you right now, Chasey the Illest.
Chasey the Illest, okay.
That's my little brother.
Shout out Chasey the Illest.
He just put out a project called Nightmare Park.
Right,
Go
y'all.
get that.
Y'all go follow Chasey the Illest on Instagram.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you right now, Malcolm Elliott.
Malcolm Elliott, okay.
That's the boy.
Homie.
That's the young God MC.
Hell yeah.
Jody Watts.
Jody Watts.
Jody, like
Jody.
y'all don't even know, man. Like Jody, at a time where I didn't even want to rap no more, Jody put out a project. It's like the only project he got to his name,
Right.
and it was like the best.
Bro, Jody, I still be like, yo, what was that? Was it Audacity? What was it?
I think it's Audacity. It's Audacity, yes.
Yeah.
And that was like 2015, 14 in that area.
Right.
Bro, that project is the reason I kept pushing.
Man, look, Jody's another one of those OGs. When I talk about the reason why Underground Detroit is here, I was like, yo, these artists need to be somewhere portrayed like
Absolutely.
where everybody can see them. Because I'm like, yo, this guy's hard, this guy hard, this guy hard.
Absolutely.
Like,
But if you talk about like Detroit, like I'm a rapper, so I like
Yeah.
naturally listen to everybody. So you got my
Yeah.
boy Chris Lamar.
Chris Lamar.
I play his stuff. He just sent me some new stuff
Okay.
that he working on that's
Okay.
crazy.
Okay.
I play Be Free, J
Be Free,
Squared,
shout out Be Free, J
Curtis
Squared,
Roach.
Forever
Like,
Gold.
you know what I'm
Shout out
saying?
Forever Gold,
Like
Wind Down
I
the
play
Voice.
everybody music because
Yeah.
like I naturally am like attracted to him. My boy Karan, he gonna be on the show Saturday.
Shout out Karan.
That boy crazy.
Yeah.
Black leather jacket out now. Like you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
everybody from the city is in their own vibe and their own style. And everybody got the opportunity to come up right now. It's just about like I said, breaking through that door.
Yeah, man. So what's the next song we about to get into?
Next one I got, this a heat wave right here. It's called Really Bout. Basically, it's just saying that people not really bout what they say they bout. So stop tweeting that they bout it.
All right. Yeah, here we go. This that HAV. Yo, it's your boy Zave back in the building. You're listening to Underground Detroit Radio, show number 35, featuring HAV. Yo, we just came out of a dog track, Really Bout It.
Yeah.
You feel me? I got it right that time?
Yeah, you good.
I got it right that time for sure. Yo, so tell me a little bit about that track.
Yeah, Really Bout, man. It was just me having fun. Stop talking about stuff that you really don't do. You ain't really about it.
Right.
It probably came from like, people on Twitter be capping a lot. I had this one dude
Social
told me,
media in general.
yeah, you know what I'm saying. This one dude, he had said some questionable things to my girl, and I responded to him. He was like, all right, pull up in Rouge Park. I was like, all right, meet me there in 10 minutes. I was in Arizona. I know he ain't pull up though. Like he instantly blocked me when I responded. Like,
Right.
Quit talking about stuff.
Right,
Like
right.
we ain't really like we in this social media age now, man. Where,
Like, come on, man.
people say whatever they want to do,
You know?
and a lot of people still operate by old school principles. And if you say, if you disrespect me, I'm gonna violate you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that's me, but if it gets to a certain level, then we have to react accordingly.
Anybody can be pushed.
You know what I'm
feel me?
saying? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You push the right button. So, yeah, that's what that one is about. Just quit talking about stuff you ain't really about.
True,
You
true.
ain't really doing.
So, bro, I gotta know this. I gotta know this one thing. You feel me? What's your zodiac sign?
Virgo.
Virgo? Oh, snap. My wife's a Virgo. That's crazy.
Oh, that's crazy. Shout out to her, Virgo
yeah,
Queen.
Yeah, shout out to the Virgos. All right. That explains the attention to detail.
Oh,
You
okay.
feel me? When it comes to the bars, for sure.
Okay, for sure.
Yeah, man. So look, we got Underground Detroit presents Rap Dealer. Saturday, November 16th, 2019. We out here in Hazel Park, 510 East 10 Mile. Y'all make sure y'all be here at 9 o'clock for the open mic sign up. We're going to have the artists come out. So if y'all want to come out and get on this show, y'all make sure y'all get here early. 9 o'clock, sign up. Have your USBs ready, man. This is about to be a dog-ass show. I got my homie
Best
Hob
show of
in
the year.
building. For real, man. We
Best
got
show of the year.
Chasey the Illest, Malcolm Elliott, American from Rhythm and Flow coming
Yeah,
out. You feel
absolutely.
me? Shout out Naptown.
The homie.
Yo, we got the homies on the Teflon Karan, you feel me? Shout out Karan in the building.
The homie.
Jody Watts.
The homie.
Hitters. We got some hitters. I'm like, yo.
OGs, yeah. These are all my
feel
people.
me?
These are all the people I came up with, or I respect, or I listen to their music. Like every single one of them. But every one of them is a homie. Is whether we close friends or not, every one of them is a homie and somebody I know like can come and turn up. So yeah,
Man,
great.
on some real shit.
Yeah.
So look, we gonna get into a little bit of their music too after your track. So tell me what's this next track we about to play.
This one is a prelude. It's called Before the Dealer. So it's basically just telling you what to be prepared for tomorrow, November 15th, Rap Dealer. But this one right here is Before the Dealer.
All right, y'all heard it here first, man. Underground Detroit Radio. HAV dropping his album, Rap Dealer, tomorrow. Y'all make sure y'all get that joint. It'll be going up on Saturday, November 16th, 2019.
Crazy.
You feel me? Underground Detroit presents Rap Dealer. We gonna be in the building. HAV gonna be spitting the new bars. You feel me?
New
The
bars.
fresh bars.
Fresh bar.
Yeah, boy. So y'all make sure y'all come out 510 East 10 Mile. Here we go.
Before the Dealer. Yeah, I hear him talking. I hear the talking whispers, man. When this drop, it ain't no debate about who the greatest.